Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is my 2024 Audi RS3. I got my buddy Jordyn here with me. He owns the Elantra N over there. And I know a lot of Elantra N owners, their kind of dream car, the next step up or whatever is an RS3 because it's, again, a four-door sedan, but it's all-wheel drive. You know, it's got the inline 5 and stuff like that. It's also a dual clutch. So Jordyn's actually going to drive the RS3 and share his thoughts on it being a Elantra N owner. So let's go ahead and hop inside. All right, guys, we are in the RS3. Jordyn, first impression sitting in?
Very luxurious. It's funny because this was my dream car for the longest time. The previous gen, the 8V, yeah. I love this car, and I used to have it on my screensaver. But yeah, it's actually kind of crazy sitting in this thing. So it feels very great. I mean, obviously compared to Elantra, it's way better. I mean,
yeah, I mean it's almost double the price.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it feels amazing. Steering wheel feels awesome. I'm surprised it's not flat bottom.
Yeah, that's the 8V had a flat bottom, and then the European 8Ys have a flat bottom.
Yeah, but it's very futuristic. I love the way these vents are like this. Door handle is actually nice how it integrates with the trim right there. Has some nice carbon fiber right there and stuff.
It does feel weird being passenger in my own car.
Very squishy.
He's the first person that that's driving it with me as passenger. So
the suede too, just like the Elantra right here on the sides.
Yep, got the little suede.
Yeah, it's very nice. Piano black, my least favorite.
Yep, I don't like piano black either.
But yeah, it's awesome.
It's got a little bit of storage in there.
Storage. Definitely won't be able to put my kid back there.
Yeah, the back seat is definitely not as spacious as the Elantra N at all.
Yeah. And it's funny because I actually cross-shopped, when I cross-shopped the Elantra, I cross-shopped the S3 because it's obviously a little bit more attainable price. I was trying to justify the back seat, but it's very tight.
Yeah.
It's like 35.2 inches of legroom compared to mine is 38, so that's 3 inches of difference.
That's huge. Like 3 inches as far as like legroom or like the size of a car or whatever is like 3 inches is a big difference.
Massive.
What do you feel about the little tactile buttons?
I like the sound.
Does it feel nice?
The sound is actually really satisfying. Now this is DSG, right?
This is yeah, it's a dual clutch. I think Audi calls it like a Tiptronic or something, but yes, it's a dual clutch. It's called the DQ500. It's the most beefy DSG.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as the Golf R, but beefier.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely very smooth. Now this is the normal setting though.
Yeah, this is in the comfort mode, so the suspension's in like the softest setting at the moment. Or it's in auto. Yeah.
Those brakes have a nice bite.
Let me start you off in comfort. There you go.
So what's the difference between comfort and what I was just in?
I don't know. Auto apparently is supposed to like adjust to like the way you're driving or whatever, but comfort is like the most comfort setting. So this is soft suspension and stuff.
So I have one more mode than you, because you have comfort.
No, I have
dynamic,
more.
Huh?
No, I have a RS performance too.
Oh yeah,
and
RS
torque rear.
Torque rear. Oh, for
the drift mode, yeah.
It's very smooth. I'm curious how it would be in dynamic though.
Yeah, you can adjust whatever you want. You can cruise around in comfort, put in dynamic, whatever.
I don't know, I might have to do dynamic. So that's right here, right?
Yep. And you can keep pressing it. Yeah, there you go. So now it's in dynamic.
Ooh, those nice little purples.
See how it has no low-end torque?
That's some nice turbo flutter though. Now you did put the mid-pipes in, right?
Yeah, it has the mid-pipes.
Oh, that's a nice sound. That's a very intoxicating sound. I know my car is very intoxicating just because it's not, I mean, that's one of the best four-cylinder sounds you can get from a factory car.
Yeah.
But this 5-cylinder, there's no other car like it, especially since they got rid of the TTRS.
I know.
Let's give it up in the RPMs a little bit. That's a nice sound. I get why people would buy this car. It's because of that sound.
Yeah. Sounds really cool.
And especially if you're, now I know you're coming from a Golf R perspective, but if you came from a car like mine or an S3 or, you know, whatever else, this car is way worth the upgrade. Now I know when you option it out, it gets a little bit too pricey, but yeah, the initial package.
What do you think?
It's nice.
How do you feel about the power?
So it's funny. I was about to say that. So it's because you're on 91 right now, right?
Yeah, it's not on E30.
I know you've tested on E30 and it traps like 4 miles an hour way faster, and I think what 91's 114.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
It's
1,080 degrees. This car is super heat sensitive.
Oh yeah, so is mine. But it's funny because yeah, it's obviously way faster than mine, but it's the power delivery is very similar to mine. It's
really?
Very torquey, and then it gets really linear as soon as you're going through the RPMs. Now the initial bite, depending on what RPM you're at, like
this car feels torquey when the turbo kicks in.
Yes.
But when you're like below 3,000, 3,500, it doesn't feel torquey, in my personal opinion.
Now I'm gonna try. I don't want to bog the engine, but I want to.
No, you can try lower RPM or whatever.
Yeah, I want to try to give it some juice before the RPM.
Yeah, sure, try it.
Oh yeah, and then there.
See how you had to like wait for the turbo to kick in?
Yeah, that did take a little while.
So your car, if you floored it, then it probably would have gave you that power like instantly.
It would, yeah, a little bit. Like when we do some of the races and stuff, third gear at 50 miles an hour, it does take a little bit of time. I think that's just every car though.
Probably because you're a little bit lower in the RPMs.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just an instant surge of torque as soon as that turbo kicks in, and it's a much bigger turbo, so that makes sense. Let me see. It's so funny because it does feel similar to my car power delivery wise.
Like the power delivery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when you start getting up into speed, it just pulls. On my car, the red line's like near 7,000, it's like 68. My car dies off at 6,000.
This one does pull all the way to red line though.
Okay, yeah. That's the only difference that I felt. Now let me see. Do I hold both shifters and it goes back to auto?
Hold the upshift pedal. There you go.
Okay.
Now you're back in auto.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it keeps pulling. Yeah.
I mean, it feels kind of cool for the passenger seat.
How does that feel?
It feels pretty good actually. It doesn't. It's not bad. I mean, especially since we just got out of the Elantra, you know, it does feel a lot different.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the initial downshift bite is what's.
Yeah, it feels kind of sluggish.
Yeah, a little bit, especially where it shifted there from like second to third.
Yeah, that's where I noticed it. The second to third especially, like when it shifts into third gear, you have like no power, and then if you put your foot down, it'll downshift to second and give you too much power.
Is that what you were talking about in your video with the second to third kind of weird?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know, for me, the low end torque, I feel like it can improve upon that.
Yeah. Now this is a 7-speed, right?
7-speed dual clutch, yes.
It does shift, like if you are driving normally and then try to give it some, it does short shift a lot.
So what would you say overall thoughts on this car in comparison to your Elantra N? Do you think that people that, you know, have always idolized this car should save up money and buy it? Do you think it's still worth it? Or do you think that, you know, what are your honest thoughts on it?
So I know this car starts out around what, 58,000? You can option to like mid 60s.
Realistically, it's a $66,000 car.
So for that money, I don't think the car is worth that money. Now, the reason why it might be that expensive is because of the engine and the sound. Power delivery obviously is way different and way more than the Elantra. Obviously there's no competing with that. But what this car doesn't have, the Elantra has, is just you're having that much more daily drivability with the power delivery, especially if you're low in the RPMs and you're just trying to not really push it and you're just trying to go. The N will give you power to go. This does, like, it, you gotta kind of ring it out to really get anywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like saying in my videos and stuff. And
the space, obviously, the all-wheel drive is nice and stuff with this car.
Now, how does it feel here in the front for your body type? You're you said 6'1" or 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'1".
6'1". Okay, so how does it feel for you at 6'1"?
It feels fine. I did push the seat up a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, it feels fine. There's so much room. There's a lot of room in here. I know.
Yeah, it looks like your legs aren't like touching the side and stuff like mine were. Really. Or, I mean,
it kind of. I mean, I can get where you're talking about right here on the.
Yeah, how it's a little tight.
The left side is fine.
Yeah, because even me on the left side, it seems like it's close to my leg.
Yeah, that's funny how that's like that.
But it's probably because my legs are longer, so my leg sticks out further.
But it's. I mean, this is a very driver-focused car.
And then your headroom looks to be fine in this car.
Yeah.
Even with the sunroof. It's close, but it looks like you're good.
But yeah, this car, with how much power it is, you gotta really ring it out. So it is less of a better daily than a Golf R, an Elantra N, a GTI. A Civic Si is a great daily driver, even though it's very, very low on power. But this car, you do really have to ring it out. And this car, that's why you have your M2.
I agree with everything that you said except for the Civic Si. We had a 23 Si on our lot, and that car did not have any low end torque either.
I mean, that's kind of a car where you do have to ring it out too to get all the power. Now, it's not like the old VTEC engines where you have to get it all the way to redline, but I mean, I don't know how that 10th gen is. Oh, you got nice.
Yeah, I got the 360 sensors.
That's nice.
So let me ask you this. I mean, do you think Elantra N owners should save up money and try to trade it in on a car like this? Like, let's say they always want that inline 5, they're looking to upgrade. Do you think that this is a worthy upgrade?
Honestly,
I mean, you are getting the all-wheel drive.
Honestly, for me personally, no, I don't think it's worth it. I would try to, now obviously they're a little bit less in power, but I would try to go something for like M340 or S4.
Okay.
Not just because those are a little bit cheaper, but just because they are a little bit bigger and the power delivery. Now it's hard to explain because it's just hard to compare that car to this car. I mean, if you have a family, I would not get this car unless your kids,
yeah, not a lot of space.
Yeah, unless your kids are front wheel or front facing, or they're out of like rear facing and then a booster. But I don't know, it's hard. I don't know, it's hard to judge if somebody should get this over an Elantra.
Just to give you guys my thoughts on it, I've driven an M340 and I've also driven a S4. Right, I've driven both of those cars. They have more low end torque than this car,
and that's probably
and
what
it's
it
better
is.
for a daily driver. And then the S or the M340 gets better gas mileage, and then the S4 gets similar gas mileage to this one. They're not as fast all out,
right?
They're not as fast, no, but and they don't have that sound. But the S4 sounds pretty good for a 6, and then the B58 obviously sounds really good too. But those are honestly better daily drivers. And if you're coming from an Elantra N, those might be better for what you're looking for. But again, if you're looking to, you know, do crazy mods and stuff, and you like the inline 5 and stuff, then yeah, this is like your only option. Yeah,
I think if this is a good weekend car, if you're going to stick with the Elantra, because they're so much more different and that's way more daily drivable compared to this car. Like we were saying, the low end torque and just normally driving, that's kind of annoying, especially when you're not wanting to go fast. You know, you wake up in the morning, you're exhausted.
You're cruising.
Yeah, or a long day at work, and it's hard to like really want to try to push your foot down and to get power, because that does get kind of annoying.
Yeah, there's cars like way less powerful than this car, but just because the power band is different, it makes more low end torque, they feel quicker in daily driving scenarios. Like this car, you have to get past 3,500 RPM, and then you have too much power if you're just trying to cruise around. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Share your thoughts on the RS3 in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.